Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I am good. I am good. Where are you from?
I'm from India, and how about you?
I'm from New York City.
Oh, that's very good.
Yes, yes. Okay, so tell me, why are you learning English?
Actually, I'm not learning English. I just, want to talk to a different country's people. That's what I'm connecting with Cambly.
Okay, nice. All right, so you know English very well.
It seems like I'm not sure because man should always learn,
That's
right?
true. That is true.
So I'm not saying that I'm perfect because it's not my native language because my native language is Hindi, right? As I'm from India. But still I'm thinking, okay, I can learn from, if I'm learned from anyone, that would be good, right?
That's true. That is very true. That is very true. Okay, so we are going to have a conversation today.
Hmm.
Tell me, what are you thinking about? What is in your head now?
I'm thinking actually, I am nothing special, but these days everyone is worried about the coronavirus that is going on, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what's going to happen next day, and nobody knows about it,
That
right?
is very true.
Right. So that's the major thing, thing that we are thinking these days. How about you? Like, what's going on in New York? Because it's terrible, right?
Yes, actually, yes. It's been. I actually was living in another country. Okay, but
Uh-huh.
when this happened, I had to leave and I had to come back to New York City. And where I was living, it wasn't this bad. When New York City, it's been really really terrible. It's been very terrible. Um,
Exactly.
there have been a lot of shortages. Like
Uh,
at first there wasn't enough beds, then there wasn't enough ventilators. Now there's not enough money. I mean, it has not been good since I've been back here. It's just been one
so
bad thing after another bad
where
thing.
are you from? You're not from the US, right?
I am from the U.S. Uh huh.
Okay.
But
No,
I
I am.
uh
You're from somewhere else, right? Where some other country.
I was actually living somewhere else. I'm from New York City. That's where I was born and raised. But about
Okay.
almost a year ago, I have moved to Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. Okay.
Yes, I was living in Mexico for a while, but once the coronavirus happened, I had to come back to the United States. So
Yeah.
since I've been here, just hasn't been good. They can't get a handle on it. They can't. They just can't get ahead of it. They don't really know what to tell people anymore. And we have been in quarantine for almost April, May, almost 3 months.
Oh. Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes, we'll for almost 3 months we've been on quarantine, and still they don't know when they're going to start allowing us to go back out or opening stores or anything like that. Right now, they told us that we still have to stay like this until June 7th. So it just hasn't been good since I've been here. It has not.
I can.
Yeah.
And sorry, I didn't get your name.
It's Shanique.
Sunny. Okay. My question is like, if someone wants to learn English, what is the easiest way, to learn English? Because if I'm gonna teach someone, so I can also pass this message to them.
Okay. So my advice to anyone that wants to learn a language, because I'm learning a language myself, is very important, and I tell my students all the time, it's very important that you read in English and that
Mhm.
you read out loud. Okay? Because it does two things for you. One, reading gives you more vocabulary. All right. So it gives you more words to be able to express yourself and to be able to talk to various types of people. Because
Right.
yeah, because there are some people, even that live here in the United States, that know English, that don't speak English that well, because maybe they didn't have the education or whatever the case may be. So you have to be in a position to speak to all types of people, right?
Right. That's true.
I tell people all the time, read. It's important. Read, okay? Because it's going to give you the vocabulary. It'll give you very simple vocabulary, you know, and then it'll give you extravagant vocabulary, but you can gear it towards your audience. You know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
I tell my students all the time, take 5-10 minutes out your day, just read something in English out loud every day.
So do you teach online or offline?
I used to teach offline too, but now I just teach online.
Okay, only online.
Uh-huh.
That's very good.
Yeah,
Because as I know, like if you talk about in US, there are so many Spanish people who doesn't speak English at all,
very true.
if I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. That is very true. There is a huge Spanish population in the United States. Even where I am in New York City, there is a huge Spanish population. Okay. So using big words to speak to somebody that doesn't really know English that well is not going to help. But if you know the simple words to things, it will help somebody, and then it doesn't make them feel bad. You know what I mean? Because they don't
Right.
understand or because they don't know. So reading is very important. Very important.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
That's very true. Something like anything else that you like to tell about the English or learning language or about the pronunciation part.
Yes.
Anything that you want to add on?
Yes. So I also I received this point from someone, but it's good to,
Mhm.
even if you don't have someone to practice speaking English with,
Mhm.
by yourself. Okay? Like have a conversation with yourself. Ask
Mhm.
questions. All right? Answer the questions. Not simple things that you're like, okay, I know the answer to that. But really really try to have a conversation with yourself to force you to think of things and speak things that normally you wouldn't. Okay. Even if that's like finding a topic online about maybe technology and you're just having a conversation about that. That practice every day, it goes a long way. It goes a long, long way. And
Thank you, to giving me this information because that is very important. If I'm going to teach any of a student, at least, they should have an idea,
yeah,
right? Even if I'm telling them, but still I want, to get on answers from each of every, like even not from India, outside of the India as well, so that they should know what's they're thinking, what
yes,
somebody else is doing, right?
yes, yeah,
So that would be the huge difference, right?
yes. That would be the huge difference. And if you're looking to teach English, okay, because people that are learning the language, they need to know how to read, write, and speak the language, right? That's
Right.
automatically you have to learn. And that's one thing that too, when it comes to writing, all right? I I tell my students, like sometimes I have them write their answers. Now, it may not be perfect. It may not be perfect. But at least I can show them and tell them, okay, now listen to how this sounds. Now, do you think the sentence needs to be corrected? Normally, they would say yes. And then I would say, how? Okay. So you get them into writing, even if it's very short sentences, it helps. Because when you go to the airport, you have to fill out the documentation. You know,
Exactly.
it's gonna be important that you know how to write. You know what I mean? So, or if you're anywhere, you go to a hotel, if anything, you're gonna need to know how to write. So, if you're gonna teach English, you know, you start having your students write early. Okay, so they're going through the whole entire process. They're learning to read, write, and speak all at the same time. That's very important. I will have my students, we'll read a story, we'll read it together, and then I'll say, I want you to write about what you just read. Okay?
That's true.
Yeah, and I'll say it doesn't have to be long, maybe 4 sentences, but write about what you read. Okay, and then this gives me the opportunity to help them improve their writing while they're learning to improve their speaking, while they're improving their reading. So it all goes hand in hand.
You're right.
Yeah.